The expression qui vive is a phrase borrowed from the French language and used in English to describe a state of alertness, watchfulness, or readiness. When someone is said to be on the qui vive, it means the person is attentive and prepared for possible danger, change, or important events. The phrase suggests careful observation and mental awareness, rather than physical action. Although it is not commonly heard in casual conversation today, it still appears in literature, journalism, and formal writing, because it carries a refined and expressive meaning. The phrase comes from French military history. In French, qui vive literally means, who goes there? Or long live whom? Soldiers and guards use the expression when challenging unknown individuals approaching military posts or protected areas. The question helped determine whether the approaching person was a friend or an enemy. Because guards needed to remain constantly alert, the phrase gradually became connected with vigilance and caution. English speakers later adopted the expression into their own language, while preserving much of its original pronunciation and style. When people use the phrase on the qui vive, they usually mean that someone is mentally prepared and carefully observing events. A businessperson waiting for economic changes may remain on the qui vive for new opportunities. A journalist covering political developments may stay on the qui vive during elections or periods of crisis. In everyday life, people can also be on the qui vive when expecting important news or preparing for unexpected situations. The expression therefore emphasizes awareness, readiness, and concentration. The phrase is often connected with situations involving uncertainty or risk. During war, political tension, or economic instability, governments and individuals may remain on the qui vive because conditions can change suddenly. In literature, authors sometimes use the expression to create suspense and tension. Characters who are on the qui vive may be watching for danger, waiting for secret information, or preparing for sudden events. Because of its elegant and formal tone, the phrase is more common in serious writing than in ordinary conversation. One reason the expression remains interesting is that it reflects the strong influence of French culture on the English language. Throughout history, English borrowed many words and phrases from French, especially in areas such as government, law, literature, and military affairs. Qui vive is one example of how foreign expressions entered English while keeping their original appearance and meaning. These phrases often sound sophisticated because they preserve their foreign spelling and pronunciation. Although the phrase is less common today than in earlier centuries, it still survives in educated speech and formal writing. Journalists, historians, and authors occasionally use it to describe vigilance and alertness in a concise way. The expression communicates more than simple attention because it suggests active mental readiness and cautious observation. Even modern security systems and emergency planning involve the same basic idea of staying prepared for sudden developments and unexpected challenges. In conclusion, the phrase qui vive describes a condition of alertness, vigilance, and readiness for possible danger or important events. Originating from French military language, it was first used by guards challenging unknown individuals, and later became associated with careful observation and caution. Although the phrase is less common in modern conversation, it continues to appear in literature and formal communication because of its historical and expressive qualities. Studying expressions like qui vive helps people appreciate the connections between languages and the lasting importance of awareness and preparedness in human life.